RACI model. Okay. RACI model basically, again, it's a very simple matrix here. It is also known as RACI matrix. It is a tool to help you manage relationship with every stakeholder. So the RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consultate, and inform. Okay. So yeah, so Kashif Nawaz, satisfied customer means a customer who is satisfied with your services or with your product. Okay, so that he is the satisfied customer. And dissatisfied means any a customer who do not like your product or maybe your service. He is a dissatisfied customer. So everything is depend on your product and service. What type of services you are providing, what type of quality you are providing to your customer. Okay, so that's why expectation is there. Your customer is always having some expectations. So responsible basically a manager or team member who is directly responsible for successfully completing a project task. He is a responsible person. Accountable, the person with final authority over the successful completion of the specific task or deliverable is accountable. Consultant, someone with unique insights. The team will consult, inform a client or executive who is not directly involved here, but you should keep up to speed. So you can use this RACI model. For example, that you can mention here different person name, okay, and who is responsible, who is not responsible. Uh, for example, Ram is one of the person. Here, Sumit. Here is Akash. Here is John. There are different people. They are working at different positions. Okay, so you can mention here that who is responsible for this particular service. Okay, or any particular action you want here. Like this is the deliverable. This is the activity. So this person for this activity, for this delivery, he is responsible. He is accountable, consulted here, accountable here. So you can mention all the different kind of uh, duties or characteristics here for different people for different type of activities. Okay, so it will gives you a better picture that what are the different duties here for different people, what are the different responsibilities here. Okay, so what are the benefits of RACI chart? RACI framework gets everyone on the same page and provides the structure and direction of your team needs to successfully complete a project. Okay, it will clarify your stakeholders. Your it will clarify rules and responsibilities of all your stakeholders, or maybe sometimes your team members also, and about their expectations. It will promote accountability and it will reduce miscommunication. Okay, for example, it's a very important part, especially in your projects. Okay, like in your project team, sometimes, not sometimes, in fact, most of the time, it is happening that your team members are having miscommunication. Okay, they are not having good communication about the roles and responsibilities. So RACI network will really helps you. It will prevent your work overload also. Okay. So how to create a RACI matrix? You will just create array. So it's a very simple thing. Okay. Like you can first identify your project roles, identify the roles your project needs. Okay. Maybe if you are building a e-commerce website, so project role maybe include website developer, website manager, content administrator, marketing manager, sales manager. So you are having different roles here, and these are different people like Adam. So Adam is accountable for collection data. Adam is accountable for analyze data. and Adam is consulted here for order parts. Okay, so these are the different features here you are showing with respect to these different executions. Okay, it's a pretty simple matrix, guys, and believe me, very helpful for you. Okay, through this you can have more better idea. As a project manager, you will be having a very good idea that what are the roles, responsibilities of your different team members. Okay, so you can just mention the roles here and different tasks here. According to that, you can highlight their RACI. Okay, something like that. It's pretty easy. Assign roles and responsibilities here now, like this way. Okay, so now you have better picture, and your team members are having a good idea about their different roles and responsibilities. So the step number 4 is finalize your matrix here. So how you finalize? So it's a good practice to go through the above steps with your team members. Okay, ask with your team members. Maybe you can take instructions from your manager also, and get approval from your team members and approval from your key stakeholders also. And after that, you need to put your RSCI matrix to use. You can use this RACI matrix in your value stream, sorry, in your visual management boards also, or maybe in your Kanban boards. If you are using Kanban boards, visual management boards, Kamishibai boards, okay, or any other type of notice boards you are using, you can use RACI matrix there easily. Next is affinity diagram, guys. What is affinity diagram? What is the description of the affinity diagram? Affinity diagram organize is large number of ideas into their natural relationships. Okay, so this method taps the team's creativity and intuitions. It was created in 1960s by Japanese anthropologist Jiro Kawakita. It is also called affinity chart KJ method. Okay. So what is affinity diagram? Basically, it will gives you idea about all the needs of your customers. Okay, according to some particular parameters. Okay, suppose you want to know the exact needs of your customer under design. Okay, under the design, for example, okay, that what your customer wants, or maybe if you are having some feedback from your customers under the design. So you can give your cards to your customers. They can write down their exact needs and requirements here. So you can make some particular space here to put your cards here, and you can put your different cards where different customers have written their needs and requirements. Okay, put your cards here. So in the end, you will collect all these cards, and according to that, you have got idea what are the exact needs and requirements of your customer in this design framework. Okay, maybe you can take anything else like design, or maybe you can take like supply chain, for example. Okay, what your customer wants according to a good supply chain, or maybe any other thing. Okay, so that is a affinity diagram. So and it is going to use when you are confronted with many facts or ideas, or issues seem too large and complex. It is not about your external customer. You can use for your internal customers also. Okay, if you want to know the requirements of your internal customer, you can use it. A typical situation, like after a brainstorming session, you can use it analyzing verbal data, or maybe through survey results, or creating a tree diagram or storyboards also. So this is a this affinity diagram you can use Like you are having this, for example, you want to know some exact needs and requirement related to the time. Okay, maybe lead time, cycle time, something like that. You can note it down the needs there. Okay, like under the defect, okay, defect free, you can require all the needs here. Okay, all the needs here. So these are actually all the, this is the cluster. Okay, this, for example, this is the cluster number one, which is timeliness. This is cluster number two, which is defect free. So you can mention here all the different kind of needs here, and you will draw this diagram. It's pretty simple. I mean, you can use the whiteboard also if you want. You can use whiteboard. You can use some sticky notes, colored sticky notes. Okay, like for example, green color, yellow, red color, different color of sticky notes. And maybe you can develop some metal board also if you want in your industry, a wooden board. So typical situation for using an affinity diagram for brainstorming also, if you want, you can use it. Possible performance measures like for percent of purity, maintenance cost, environment accident, safety, viscosity. So you can see, you can record any kind of data here. Okay, you can mention any kind of data here. Okay, so this is a very common form here. Like in the top, you can mention the cluster. This is the cluster, anything. And according to that, you can mention all the needs and requirements here. Okay, anything. So it will give you more better picture, more better idea what exact needs and customer. Okay, this is example. For example, the first cluster is time. Second cluster is defects. Third cluster is, for example, material. So you can mention all the different clusters here, and you can note it down all the different kind of needs and requirements. This is a affinity diagram, and believe me, this is also a very important diagram, very important diagram in the voice of customer. So you can see here, okay, like in the product quality, you are having different percent of purity, percent of trace metals, CPK values. Maintenance also, you are having maintenance cost, percent of uptime, service factor, manufacturing cost also. If you want, you can use this kind of affinity diagram. You can use as a visual management board also. Okay, or as a Kanban board also if you want. So utility cost, yield, you can mention different information here. Okay, safety, environment, volume. It's a very informative diagram actually. Okay, guys. So this is again another quiz time here. RSAI is an acronym for. Nice. Most of the people are right. C is the answer. What function does the RSAI model play? Yes, it organizes teams according to roles and activities. D is the answer. RSA model a consulted person. So he should have specialized knowledge in the field. Mark the false statement out of the following. So C is the answer actually. Affinity diagram uses flow diagram symbol. It is not